Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested.
And Frank from Tested.
And we're here at DesignerCon 2016.
Yeah.
One of our favorite conventions to go to. And we go to a lot of conventions.
A lot.
So DesignerCon, it's been on for almost a decade now, definitely more than 5 years. And it's a gathering of artists, sculptors, painters, and people who make awesome things to share and sell their products or projects.
Yes.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our annual tour of
our
DesignerCon.
walking tour.
Yeah. So follow us and we'll go chat about the things we've seen and show you some of the things that are cool at DesignerCon if you can't make it.
Yeah. So this year, one of the cool things is it's grown again.
Yes.
So now, last year you saw the first two halls that we were in, and now there's a third hall.
A third hall, three big rooms. And that's the thing that I don't think people get about just how many booths there are at DesignerCon and a variety of things. Let's go down this way. Yeah, we're going to go down
Reynolds
many. Reynolds Advanced Materials. They're talking about resin. They're busy talking about resin.
Resin and silicons.
Yeah, and it's just like a wide range of vendors. Right next to Giant Robot, you know, a big magazine selling Japanese, like talking about culture, to just guys who are sculptors, who make their own little resin toys and you know, dress up for the occasion. We love
Bruce
Fine.
is awesome. He's from the UK. He came and visited my shop last year.
Oh yeah,
after the show. Yep.
Yeah, and some of the artists here, like I don't see them at any other conventions.
No,
They're
I mean he comes
just
over
here.
just from the UK just for this one.
Just for DesignerCon.
Yes.
Amazing. You've been coming for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
The thing I want to talk to you about really is what are the trends? Because things like I go to this, and I go to like other craft fairs, and I definitely see there are stylistic trends, maybe material trends. People start working with, you know, maybe kit bashing is popular one year, or cast pieces, small run kits are popular another year.
Yeah.
What are the things that you find?
You know, I think that more and more people are 3D printing their one-offs.
Right.
I'm seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
And a lot of this kind of stuff, a lot of dioramas.
Custom dioramas, yeah. You know, there was a whole art toy craze, and I think that definitely was like there was a trend there. You know, people like Kid Robot, and making their dunnies, and like the whole, you know, in the U.S. at least in the mid-thousands, you had modifications, like variants. You bring artists together, they each take a version of something and make their own version of that. I see a lot of original sculpts, and last year we talked about how there's that balance between
finding the original and finding the reboots or the
remixes. Remixes. I know you particularly like the original stuff.
Love the originals. I mean, there's always that like cool nostalgia to like, oh, this is a Boba Fett that's dressed up like a teddy bear, but like, I want to see the original stuff.
Hey there. Yeah. Awesome. And people like the original things, like you find a lot of garage kits, like, you know, artists like Miss Monster Mel, and you know, even, you know, our friends like Bill Duran, people, they spend a couple months working on a design, they reveal it at a show like this, and maybe they have like a dozen or two castings. Yeah. And that's how they get their word out.
Yeah, no, and you know, there's a lot of flat art work here too. It's not all sculptures and molds and castings and 3D prints. There's a lot of just like painters and fine artists, and there's these like cool like watercolors I saw in the other room. I think we'll get to a little bit later. But there's kind of a little bit of everything. All the cool artist alleys at all the conventions. This is where the coolest stuff is. Or all the coolest little pages on Etsy. Right. This is where that stuff is.
You know, a trend that I've begun to notice popping up more and more are things like this, mounts. Yeah. Taking characters and creatures and making head mounts of all different materials, sizes.
That just means that we have to finish that Rancor head mount.
We got to make a Rancor head mount for sure. Put it on the Tested set.
Yep.
Thematically, I know that like zombies were real popular.
Yeah.
And still are popular.
I don't see as much zombie stuff as there was a couple years ago.
Yes, I agree, and I think we're seeing more maybe creature things, like organic,
like kind of whimsical.
Yes.
There's a lot of whimsical creature stuff.
Yeah. And of course, everyone has their own take on, you know, what is a cute bear or rabbit.
It's this like balance of cute and kind of creepy that's like really cool, and a lot of like really weird anatomy mashups of things that maybe don't quite like this like bat thingy.
Yeah.
Like, what? It's a bat thingy, right?
That's intense. Let's put a belly button he's got there.
Quite a
if that's a belly button. Yeah. Let's roll on this way.
Yeah.
And then you also see here like the variants we talk about.
Yeah.
Toy within a toy. So that's a dunny.
Yeah.
And
we need to customize these things one day.
And they come as flat, vinyl.
Yeah.
Unpainted, unfinished vinyl, and they're hollow. And then artists, you have various artists here who just make it their own, and they sculpt. That's not part of it. And then they hollow it out, they paint the inside.
Yeah. Dioramas.
Yeah, dioramas, yes. Miniatures, scale is a big thing. Like, a lot of these toys can fall into the about 6 inches tall size. Maybe that's a result of how much work goes into putting it.
Well, it's also how much room do people have? Like with all of this trend in the collectibles industry of these giant, quarter scale or bigger figures that places like Sideshow are coming out with, where's everybody going to put anything?
Right.
So I think the smaller stuff, it's more accessible price-wise. You have a place to put it. I don't know, it's cool.
And also, the bigger you go, it limits how many you can make.
Yeah.
It's you're talking about really big molds.
Yeah.
And really big things. This is really cool. You pointed this out when we were walking by. This guy, Freehand Prophet, he makes helmets out of shoes.
Shoe remnants and stuff.
Yeah. Chatted with him earlier, and the sculptures are great, but those shoes are like really rare, old, vintage shoes. So he's taking
it's not just like
they're not
whatever shoe.
No. He's taking like designer, like $1,000 collector shoes, and turning them into big sculptures.
Probably some shoe collectors out there that are pissed.
I know. Oh, maybe it's just part of that scene. A lot of magnets.
Magnets are good. A lot of buttons. There's a lot of pin collecting going on. Have you noticed that?
Enamel pins.
Yes, enamel pins.
Yeah, maybe not like pins as the original design. Like maybe they'll create a character and they'll have a resin kit, but like the pin will be, here's a $10 accessory you can buy, like an extra thing.
Yep.
Really, really cool. I've already, when we first got in this morning, we did a walk around, and I told myself,
a quick fast lap.
I know, a fast, quote unquote, fast lap, and I told myself I wouldn't spend money until Sunday, until the second day.
Yeah, I think we both broke that rule.
Immediately, almost immediately. I think after that fast lap, had picked up, $200 worth of stuff. Hey, that's a familiar thing. Oh, publishers, book publishers. Interesting.
This is one of my favorite publishers to go to and empty out my wallet every time I go to San Diego Comic-Con.
Design
so
Studio
it's great
Press.
to see them here.
Yeah. And
I can empty my wallet here tomorrow.
Oh, here goes, Akihito, we always talk to him at Monster
Yeah,
Palooza.
Aki's great.
Of course, fans tested may recognize EK series. This is the
I bought that book
Cosmonaut.
after seeing the kit that you guys did.
Yep. A lot of cool stuff. And we've seen creatures like these are cool creatures.
Whimsical. Is
mixed,
it
mixed
whimsical
media
or creepy? I don't know.
They can be both.
Yeah.
Both whimsical and creepy. And I think the things that I'm drawn to are the really creative takes on ideas.
Yeah. Like these things.
Yes.
These little what are these? What are these things? Spacemen?
No, they're Pac-Man. They're Pac-Man ghosts.
Those are the Pac-Man ghosts? Okay.
Yeah, Alex Party artist. So this is the.
I've seen the other version of the Pac-Man ghost where it's like an empty helmet.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
so
this is
that's
okay.
Pac-Man on top of the astronaut ghost.
I get it now.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool too. Oh, everything.
No, I like these. The crabs inside of the skull and inside of the the diver helmet.
Yeah.
Those are ones that I like.
I can't promise that we won't see those in a future tested video, except that they're $300 each.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the things that I've noticed around here is a lot of times I'll see these really great kits, and the first thing I say is, do you have an unpainted version of this?
Right.
A lot of these people, they only sell the finished versions.
Right.
But it's the unpainted ones that really speak to me, because then I get to play with it and get to make it mine.
And I've seen you do that. And what's cool is that sometimes, even though they're not offering an unpainted version, after you talk to them for about 5-10 minutes, and they get that, not who you are, Frank, but they get that you know their language, and then they're like, oh, you know what?
Maybe I can figure
send me an
something
email.
out. Yeah.
I think we could probably get you an unpainted one, and I'd love to see what you can do with this.
Yeah.
And it's happened a couple times.
Well, there's all those ones out in the hallway where it's different artists do the
variants.
Run of the variants. Yeah, I think that customizing either blanks or even just buying the ones that are finished and then customizing it afterwards. That's like more fun than just like putting it on a shelf.
Right, right. Yeah. Oh, this is cool. Whoa. So when you look at this, do you think about like how did they make that?
They just, I don't know, maybe, you know what? Maybe taking the thing and putting it on the side and dripping resin all the time, or
Striking.
yeah.
It is a card I'm going to take
We're
for sure.
Figure this one out. Yeah,
love
this is cool. Okay, there's all kinds of them.
And that's an artist taking a concept and making it their own.
Yeah.
Which isn't to say, I think we've seen a lot in this kind of custom toy world and custom sculpt where the ideas are where the value is at, right?
Yeah.
You can take a great idea, but it's also really competitive. You know,
Yeah.
a toy designer can come up with a really cool idea, cool concept.
But they got to keep it to themselves because the turnaround can be so fast if somebody else wants to.
Right.
Wait,
It's really
look at
competitive.
this.
What's that?
A little sketch booth.
Oh, fine art sketches.
Oh,
Sketches
that's
for the
so
homeless.
great. The artist is in. How awesome is that?
That's awesome.
I'm gonna come back and get a sketch. I'll come back later.
Yeah, I was saying, like, you know, there's competition between artists. Like we saw that artist with the drippy.
Yeah.
You know, look right here, the same concept. And I don't know if
Maybe it's the same person.
if it's the same artist.
Hey,
Oh, there.
hey, how are you?
Good. I was right next to Tim's booth.
Next to Tim Gore. Yeah.
And you know what? My lady missed you last year, and she's missing you this year because she's going to be tricked.
Oh, I'll come back around. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, you don't know if it's a derivative,
Yeah.
if it's a tribute,
Or
if
if it's they
someone's
just
made
happen
it
to
their
have
own.
it, or if they just happen
Right.
to have their stuff at another booth.
Right.
There's
right.
a couple of places that have the same artist work at multiple booths.
Yeah, and I think it's okay for other artists to take on. Let's stop here for a second.
Yeah.
For artists to take on ideas that other people have done and try to make it their own.
Yeah.
But I mean, the things that really pop out are things like this. Where
Oh wow,
never seen anything like that before.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Look at that one.
I wonder
This one is.
if they're like taking original, like existing sculpts and then working
And then
on
just
top of
tip
it.
bashing everything. We should,
then adding
we
a
should try and do
patina.
something like this. See if we can do it.
Yeah.
Get some model kits. Wall mounts.
Oh, well, yep, wall mounts. That is amazing. Wow. So cool.
That is cool.
Oh, yeah, this is eye-catching. And it's working at different scales, right? It's
Yeah.
combining something that's one scale with something that's another scale.
Yeah.
All sorts of creatures.
More whimsical creatures.
Yep, yep. I also like the booths where the artists have like a signature piece. You know?
Yeah, like there's like a one big thing that they have, and then a whole bunch of little
Yep,
stuff to.
yep. You know, their passion project, the thing that they've worked on as their, you know, they're not going to sell it.
Yeah.
It's still in their world. It's still in their style, but it's them maybe experimenting with different scale or different material.
Yeah.
And for their fans, it's great because you see how this artist can, you know, expand
Yeah.
on their creativity, but also it draws you in. Like, you know, I know I'll never be able to buy that big thing.
Yeah.
But then maybe they have other things in their booth that I can check out, and those are kits that are more manageable.
Well, you know, the other thing, speaking of that, is this place inspires me. Like, just seeing a lot of these cool things. Like, a lot of people, like, you know, they'll take photos of things that they think are cool. But when I take a photo of something, that's going to inspire me to make something else. Not copy it or be derivative,
Yeah.
but it's like, there's something in it that just, like, speaks to me somewhere, and it's like, I want to go make something.
Yeah.
Like, and so seeing all this artwork and all these, like, this, like, array of different things, like, really kind of wakes up a little creativity in me.
You can have a plush fox right across from a two-headed mask,
Yeah.
and that is totally okay at DesignerCon. And you know, there are booths where there are things that are not meant to be for sale. It's
Yeah.
just like an art gallery in a booth.
Yeah, well,
Right?
kind of like over at our at the tested booth.
Yep.
Got the Rancor and the Lego over there. We're not selling that. It's just like, hey, check it out.
Yeah. You know, another trend that I've noticed are like bootleg toys. And so this is where it kind of is that gray area between, you know, remix of an existing license, because it is pulling from.
Are you talking about like bootlegs of like the old classic like 80s toys that
Yes.
they just don't make anymore?
And they do their own spin on it.
Yeah.
Like if it's a subversive take on a political character or something that Disney would never sell this version of a Mickey Mouse.
Well, I've also seen those little. Remember the little muscle men, the little pink. I've seen those things at one of these booths.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think people are pulling stuff out from their childhood and remaking that stuff too.
And I get that, when someone does a custom, Boba Fett, right? It's their way of adding to that story of that character. It's their way of saying, okay, now I feel like I'm dueling Star Wars, I'm dueling my fan characters. That's totally fine. But then, take that practice and make it your own and do something else with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where we get into that balance of original versus, remixes. But
something that we talked about last year, we didn't see a lot of, and I still don't see a lot of this year, are mechs, robots.
Yeah, I want more robots.
Like, why do you think that is? Is it inherently more difficult for
maybe it's
designers?
a trend thing. I don't know that like Robotech, Macross, like Gundam, like I don't think that we're in that world, I guess. Or maybe that's not popular in this independent toy world. There's some robots. But I don't know. I mean, I want to go to a Gundam convention or something like that.
Yeah.
I want to go see more big, cool, crazy robots.
Right. Mechs,
I don't know,
robots.
somebody make some robots for me. Well, what was the Kickstarter that just went up that had the robot thing?
1,000 toys. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
toys.
over in the new third room.
Yep. And they have. I mean, they have some robots there, but like mechs. I want to see. I like mechs.
Cool mech stuff. Yeah.
And there are plushes. Oh, let's check this out.
These are the other dioramas.
Yeah, a couple booths here. I think there's a guy, Shakarama, and this booth here. They take existing toys and build sets out of them. For these, they actually live in TV sets, which
is pretty interesting, as a medium.
Old monitors.
Where would you put it?
I know. That's the question.
Yeah.
That's a question I ask myself with most of these things. There's a question of one. Is it something I dig? Is it something like in my style that I like? And two, is it in my price range? And even if I get yes for all of those, I ask myself, where am I going to put it?
Yeah, and anybody that's seen your home office knows that it's just wall-to-wall toys and posters.
I know. Yep.
So much artwork. You need to build. Actually, I was talking about this with Bobek earlier. He just wants to build a house that's a big giant maze with all hallways, so he can add
a maze.
So he can put up all of his posters.
Like Guillermo. So he wants surface area.
Yeah, like the Winchester Mansion, just hallways that lead to nothing, so you can put up all your posters.
So nothing but narrow surface area for hallways. Okay, all right. Bobek's clearly a poster guy.
Well, I mean, so many of us do collect more art than we know what to do with.
I know. Mine, unfortunately, a lot of it lives in the portfolio.
Yeah, but those are things that speak to you at the moment, or maybe inspire you, or remind you of something nostalgic. And there's nothing wrong with supporting independent artists like that, Like most of these people, like that goes right into their own PayPal account or whatever, and that's great that you can have that like direct connection with the people that are making these things. It's not like big giant toy company. It's like the artist.
Yep. Earlier today, a really cool moment in the con. There was someone who walked up to you, someone you follow on Instagram, and he was showing you his art, and he draws in like a calendar notebook, and every day draws a different piece of art.
Yeah, it's
in
just
notebook.
A little like Moleskine book or something like that. Yeah, and his wife said that it was like he's been doing it for like 40 years or something silly like that.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah,
there's even Lego here.
Oh,
sorry, I got to interrupt Frank because this is our friend, Pete Abramson. He made this Lego spinner, Blade Runner, of course.
That's awesome.
It's gorgeous. I'm gonna take a picture of it for Adam. It's okay if your medium is Lego. I think there's no snobbery. I think at DesignerCon. Awesome. That is cool too. I like that. Yeah, my own creations.
Yep. Yeah, I guess he's an artist from either what was it, DC or Marvel? I think he said, or he's a freelancer for DC and Marvel. And I just started following him the other day on Instagram, and he walked up and he's like, "Hey, look at it. Like, that's awesome." Like, I feel that half of my Instagram feed is here at DesignerCon. Like, I think the stuff that I follow is either like this flavor of creative types, or machinists and woodworkers.
Right.
That's my Instagram feed.
And you invite them to the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. they're all welcome to hang out.
Yeah,
There's so much
I want
cool
I
stuff.
want all kinds of. Yeah, it's really hard to not like empty my wallet. I tried to remember to bring cash and only spend that, but I forgot cash, so I've just been swiping the card and I don't know what I've been spending.
And there goes Dominic Quick. We've painted some of his
Dominic's
figures
got some
before.
new kits that I want to paint.
Yeah. Oh, that drone in the front. I love that mix of matte white with shiny red. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy right here
really
is
cool.
awesome.
Yeah. Going all right? Things are cool?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi.
Long time no see.
lovely kits. Really cool. You know, Dominic is a digital sculptor.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've heard are people who've been sculpting digitally for a long time, because of like what you said, of rapid prototyping, they realize that their work can exist in the real world.
Yeah.
And there are people who, you know, maybe they work in game design or concept art. Like they can make toys now, and they can work out a deal with a toy cube or a kid robot and manufacture and sell their creations to fans and build a
Speaking
community.
of small run toys and stuff, Chris and Amanda here.
Yes, your friends Chris and Amanda, yeah.
These are my pals from Ohio, and they make all these things kind of small run, independent. It's whimsical? Is it creepy? Is it cute? I don't know. It's pretty awesome though.
And they have that whole range, right?
Yeah.
Of the mass manufactured vinyl toys, more accessible to the ones they spend a lot of time on and do the one-offs that they reveal and at these cons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go take a quick lap in the third room now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's nice to see a show like this growing, and everybody, and it's so like grassroots and like it's like a really like a good vibe, you know.
They should do it more often. I know it's once a year.
No, we don't need it more often. It doesn't need to be like Monster Palooza twice a year.
They don't need it twice
once
a year?
a year is fine.
Once a year, maybe once a year, 3 days. Extend it to one more day. I need one more like wrestling
day
with
to
my
empty your
wallet
wallet.
day. Yeah. Because the thing I worry most about is walking out of this convention and then missing something.
Fear of missing out.
Seeing on Instagram later on someone bought something
I should've
awesome.
bought
Like
that.
I was just there.
You know what? I had that moment last year.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to buy that Overlook hotel blanket.
Yes.
The Overlook
yes.
carpet pattern.
Oh yeah.
Didn't buy it.
Guess
and
who
I regret
did?
it. Yeah, you bought it.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I don't need another thing for the cats to get hair on. I should have got it.
The thing that it's a guarantee at a show like this, you know, this is not a showroom, right? Like some people go to bookstores and because of Amazon, like you pull up your phone and you look on eBay, you look on Amazon, and you know what the price is of something.
Yeah.
You know you're actually gonna probably get the best deal from the artist directly here.
Well,
not have to pay for shipping.
I think it also means more to just buy directly from the artist.
Yeah.
Like you can have that like one-on-one moment, like, hey dude, I love your art.
Yep.
Let me give you some money.
Yep. And it feels better to buy it there. All right, here's that third room, crossing the street. We're getting closer to the end
there's a
of
whole
the
bunch
show.
of 3D stuff over here. They have the VR digital sculpting over there.
Yeah, Oculus Medium
Yeah.
as a demo. And that's another thing too. Like there's this mix of, you know, conventional sculptors and digital sculptors.
There's the artist, Paul Frank, right there.
Nice. Sewing machines.
Yeah.
Yep. That's total. Yep. But I'm saying like you have digital fabrication tools, and there's a difference. I mean, the difference the way you approach it between practical sculpting and digital sculpting.
Yeah.
Like the tools are getting more advanced. You do both ZBrush and you hand sculpt.
Well, we have to do everything because that's the business I'm in.
Yep. But everyone's gonna bring something different to something like VR sculpting.
Yeah. Hey, look, we got the cosplayers invading. We got Hip Hop Trooper.
Yep. At every convention, gotta get those miles on that uniform.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome though. You know, there seems to be a lot of hip hop culture here.
Yes.
There's
yes,
a lot of
absolutely.
graffiti, a lot of like tattoo style stuff. Like, it's not all just like kind of nerdy, dorky toys. It's other stuff. Comedy books. These things are funny. We need to get this one.
Oh shit, hey. how's
Toys
it
for
going?
cheap. We'll have to come back and get that one.
Alright,
Awesome.
see you later.
Those are. I started flipping through those before. They are hilarious. They're like little. I guess they're comedy writers for like TV shows and stuff like that. That just make these like quirky little books for fun.
Now, do you know if DesignerCon lists the vendors and where people can check out their stuff. Like what I would do is after the show, and that's awesome.
I don't know.
Oh, great. I would go to the DesignerCon website, look at the list of vendors, Google them, and then find their website to follow them on Instagram. We had that. That's the flip book.
Oh,
that's a great way to use it. Oh.
That's kind of awesome.
A little bit of disturbing, a little bit of cute.
It's back to whimsical. Is this cute or creepy? I don't know. Not totally sure yet.
All right, well, that's the full haul, and of course, you got to end. There's some mounts here.
More head mounts.
Head mounts. We're gonna try to weave through the crowd.
Weave through Hip Hop Trooper.
There's one more day of DesignerCon left. I feel like we've barely scratched the surface. And
I love this guy's art.
Oh, Jason Edmondson. I have his Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
It's one giant eyeball. Yeah.
Love it.
Bought that last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Director of Bob's Burgers.
The 1,000 Toys.
Yeah.
Kickstarter just launched.
I want to custom paint one of these things.
I just backed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday morning. Gorgeous. All right. I'm gonna spend more money. You gotta get more inspired.
Yes.
And hopefully that's convinced you guys to come out and make it out to DesignerCon next year.
Support all the independent artists.
And come hang out with us. Hopefully that wasn't too rambly, but hopefully give you a sense of what this show is like. It's, again, one of our favorite shows.
Yeah, this is
Thank
awesome.
you, Frank, for introducing it to me.
Hey, thanks for bringing it part of the tested group.
And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.